Anyway, I'm Brett. I work for CodeShip on the build team and do server stuff during the day, but at night I build audio stuff. So I built over the past like 2.5, 3 years, been building this synthesizer that's modular. It's gone through a lot of different iterations. For those who don't know what modular synthesis is, this is a modular synthesizer. This is the black and gold shared system from Make Noise in Asheville, North Carolina. The idea here is that you're going to plug in a bunch of cables into these things, plug inputs into outputs. Every little module in it does a little quirky bit of behavior, and you do a bunch of audio signal chains to create sound or control interfaces and stuff. So I've built a sort of a digital version of this. Shaden has a Lisp interpreter built in. I needed something to be able to define the patches in, so I wrote that. And there's a whole series of units and a bunch of DSP stuff that I had to learn to do the audio engine. All that goes into a graph to connect everything together. The engine runs it, does a top sort on that to then dump all the audio out to port audio. So without further ado, so this is what a patch looks like. Can everybody see that? So the idea here is that I'm going to create a bunch of, so this is a Krell patch. If people aren't familiar with what a Krell patch is, it's a highly recursive thing that came from Forbidden Planet in 1956. It was the first synthesized film score. So this is what this patch sounds like, if I can get sound here. So the idea is that the patch is playing and it's going to be recursive here. So it's going to, based off of these latches, these are going to remember random data that are coming in through after every note, it seeds the data for the next note. And we can repatch this live as well. So we could change this to a perfect or a major. And I can send it over to the synthesizer. So now that note will be available to it. Could change the entire key if we wanted to. Anyway, so that's one patch. I wanted to show a few of them. So there's a few of them that I have here. I don't know which one does spinner. So it has a REPL for the Lisp. Can't hear anything. Oh, it's just really low. That's not helpful at all. Let's just repack. Could someone give me a little more over there? Is that helpful? Thank you. So it has a bunch of music theory constructs built in. In this particular case, I'm doing like a C3 major, F2 major, and then the relative minor A for C, which is that main thing going there. So the idea is that I'm creating a bunch of units, I'm connecting them together, and then, so we can change the timbre of this if we choose to. That's another patch. So we're just going to go through some examples here to see that, just give everybody sort of a taste of what it can do. Got some other weird ones. This one's actually more sequenced. Which one did I play? Nope, not that one. So sequencers in it. This one's actually modeled off of the IntelliGel Metropolis. The way it works is you have a bunch of clock signals coming in. Each stage of this sequence will play that note for this number of pulses of the clock that are coming in. Every stage has its own mode. You can play the first note, rest for the rest, play the last note, rest for the first couple. So we could do other modes here. We could reverse it. It has ping pong and a bunch of other things. So there's a bunch of these little units. I have about 150 of these little tiny units in it. So there's sequencers, there's reverb, there's all sorts of stuff. So it's been a fun project to work on, and it never ends. As my coworker can attest to. You can do synthesized drums, which that's a fun thing to do. So these are Euclidean rhythms. Basically, we're going to fill it. We're going to have a span of 8 steps. Fill it with 1, and it'll try evenly distribute the active notes or triggers for that span. So in the case of the 10 and the 8, it's going to try and evenly distribute the 8 amongst the 10. So we could change that up. There's a bunch of XORs and stuff like that to get the kind of and/or. All sorts of stuff here. So we can play around with this. So I use this to record small things, patterns, and dump it into my DAW and then edit it there. And so yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. Thanks.